you think the Pistons should give Jalen Duren a longer leash on offense? For the month of December, Duren averaged 8.4 points per game, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block, shooting 68% from the field. He also had 4 games where he had 3 or more assists in the month of December as well. So what do you guys think? You think the Pistons should give him a longer leash on offense?
I'll let you handle this one, Deuce.
I personally, I would say yes, because I think this season is a season of really just seeing what you have. We got a lot of decisions to be made this offseason, even at the trade deadline. So why not see what he's got? We've seen what he's been able to do without having any plays drawn up for him. He had 14 rebounds in his first ever game. So we see the intangibles. We see what he can do without the ball. Let's see what he can do on offense, and then see if he can still sustain that defensive presence on you, just to see, just to have a look at what he can really give you going forward. Since we're not going to the playoffs, we're not contending this year anyway. Why not see what we got?
Exactly. I would love to see a longer leash offensively for Jalen Duren, because like Anthony was talking about at the beginning of the podcast, where we've seen flashes of the mid-range jump shot. Like, I want to see a little bit of that. I want to see some post moves. I want to see him use his right hand and his left hand over his shoulders. Like, I just want to see just him get it offensively and see really what he can do and what he can handle. And I mean, part of it is because it's just impressive to be 19 years old in the NBA. I really want to see how superhuman Jalen is. So I would love to see what he could do offensively. But what about you, Anthony?
I want to see him more in dribble handoff situations, because I think he's a gifted passer where you could actually run DHOs with Jalen Duren. I know they did it a little bit with Isaiah Stewart, and Isaiah Stewart, nothing against him, he's just not the passer that you need to be to run DHOs. I think of Mason Plumlee, who was here a few years ago, and he was so great at running the offense, getting everyone set up. I think if you do DHOs with Duren, he's just going to have to learn how to set a pick and not move, because right now what I see with him when I watch is he sets a pick and he doesn't really set it. He moves like instantly. He's going to have to learn the art of like setting a pick and throwing a pass at the same time. I mean, we saw Andre Drummond do DHOs when he was here in Detroit, and he damn near flirted with a triple-double a couple times, and he became a really good passer, learning the dribble handoff offense. I think for me, that would be Duren's next step in development. And why not do it? You're not making the playoffs. You're not winning the championship. Give all these young guys the most reps that they can possibly get so they can develop faster and become, respectable, players in the NBA.
Yeah, man, that is such a great point. I was going to ask you specifically, like, how would you want to see him used offensively in the dribble handoff? That makes a ton of sense, because you're right. I mean, he is a good passer. Like, we've had a couple of games already, like I was mentioning before, 4 games already, 3 or more assists. Like, so he definitely has the vision. He can see things on the floor. Why not put him in position? But Deuce, I'm going to put you on the spot. What are some other ways you'd want to see Jalen Duren used offensively?
Man, I want to see his post-up game. Like, a lot of times, just his release, his high release on his jumper and his balance, it reminds me a little bit of KG. And, KG was similar to Rasheed Wallace, like Anthony mentioned, that skill set. I want to see what he's got down there. I see his foot. He's got great footwork when he's in the paint. And I really just want to see how he's able to put that together offensively, being able to use his vision over his shoulder, left or right shoulder. Like you mentioned, the drop step or the left hand. I just total package. I think this is the time we see what he got to offer, because just from what you see, even though it's a small sample size, you can tell. The eye test tells you, okay, he's got something there. He's got a package here. He's got a skill set here. And it looks easy for him when he does it. Just don't see really enough. So if we see more, it'll give us a great idea of what we got.
Yeah, and there was a point I want to touch on, too, that you said earlier on this topic. Like, I want to see him handle a bigger role offensively, just to see if he can handle the larger role defensively. That's another thing. I know I asked you guys, like, what do you want to see specifically offensively? But I just wanted to touch on that because I thought it was a great point. But I'm with both of you guys. The dribble handoffs, I want to see him post up a little bit more. But I kind of want to see him just operate. I want to see more of the passing, so I'd love to see him operate out of the high post and, like, hit guys cutting to the basket, whether it's Hami or Sadiq or Killian or Jaden Ivey. I want to see what he can do with guys moving and him being the main facilitator. I'd like to see that from Duren, because I just think, like what we're talking about, there's just a lot of potential there offensively that he just hasn't scratched the surface of yet.